It's a graduation. How are they not supposed to attend the whole graduation? That doesn't make any sense. No, you cannot just start. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. I don't want to hear your religious phrase. You are crazy.
I'm not a religious freak.
Yes, you are.
You see, you're wrong again.
What are you talking about?
I'm clearly
right. You bring a rabbi to a graduation. How the heck do you do this? You know you want to go right now? You want to go? Let's go. Right. Rock, paper, scissors,
break it on. Okay. Sit down. Now, Mr. Lee, if you could calmly and with some dignified manner tell me your argument, that would be very much appreciated.
If I can, yes. My argument here is that having a rabbi at this graduation is not in violation of the First Amendment, because it's not like anyone has to be there. Like, it's their choice. If they want to get up and leave, they can. And the rabbi that was there had a clear outline of what he was supposed to do at the ceremony. So it's not like everyone was forced to believe in God at this graduation.
And Mr. Weisman, would you happen to have an argument that you can present to us, again, in a dignified manner?
So you are forcing my child out of their own graduation because they don't believe in God. That is completely unfair and completely against the First Amendment. They have worked hard for that graduation, and they need to be there. But they don't want to be there if some rabbi is just going to be sitting there talking about something they don't believe in.
Well, thank you. So now, as opposed to, rock, paper, scissors, shoot to decide who wins this court case, I'm going to talk about it with my judge friends, hopefully quickly, because I kind of want to go to bed. And then we're going to come up with a verdict for this, and we're going to decide which one of you is right and which one is wrong, and it'll all be fine and dandy. So thank you for making complete fools of yourself in my court. Court dismissed. Bring in the dancing lobsters.
Majority opinion lays waste a tradition that is as old as the public school graduation ceremonies themselves.
All right, Scalia, we get it. So we've got quite the issue here. Lee versus Weisman. And we have to decide if religion in schools violates the Establishment Clause. So...
Well, everything lately, there's been this popular trend to have clergy and everything in the graduation ceremony.
Long-standing tradition.
Right. But then, with the case that we recently looked at, Lemon versus Kurtzman, we decided that it was unconstitutional. So
right.
Are we going to stand by that?
Yeah, we have to figure out if this is any different, if we can go by precedent, or if we're just going to have to overturn our previous decision.
Yeah. Well, should we vote?
I think before we vote, we should take a look at the case for each side. Just
That's probably a
see what we have.
Okay.
Well, let's start with the case in defense of Lee. Now, Lee did say that the clergyman was given specific instruction on what he had to say at the ceremony. It was emphasized that it was voluntary. And so the question becomes, if that's the case, is it promoting a religion, a state religion, and violating the Establishment Clause? That's what we got to think about. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, Weisman claims it is, because just having him there, and I believe he said he made a couple references to God, which, you could consider that insinuating a particular religion, and that would, according to our last decision, violate the Establishment Clause. So what do you guys think?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's think about this. What will be the impact of our decision? Say we decide to stand by what we said in Lemon versus Kurtzman. What will the impact be on our society?
Well, it would end up this long tradition that we've had for centuries, pretty much.
Right, it's like a defining feature, having the clergymen at graduation ceremonies, and we have to look at what's constitutional versus what the tradition has said. And as Mr. Scalia pointed out, it would lay waste to the longer-standing tradition. So we have, seems like a divisive issue here. Let's get the opinion of the justices. Just by a show of hands, how many of you are in favor of Lee that religion in schools, especially in this case, should not be considered in violation of the First Amendment? All right, so we have 4 for Lee. Now, logically, that would mean we're supposed to have 5, but I feel I should just ask anyway. How many for Weisman? Okay, good, good, I can count. So that's 5 for Weisman and 4 for Lee. And in that case, it looks like we are going to rule in consistency with Lemon versus Kurtzman, and we're going to say that this violates the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, and you can't do this in schools. Are we clear on that? Is that
Yep.
what we're going to say?
I'm okay with that.
Any dissent, Mr. Scalia?
No, that sounds right.
Thank you, Mr. Scalia. That's what I thought.
Little fart.
All right. Well, I guess this is over. Let's go break the news.
Sounds good. Let's go, guys.
She called you an old fart, Scalia. All right, gentlemen. The court has reached its decision. By a vote of 5 to 4, the court has ruled in favor of Weisman. The government's involvement constitutes a state-sponsored religious exercise which is prohibited by the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment. Therefore, you are right, you are wrong. Good day to you, sir.
Told
This
you!
is blasphemy. I will not
No,
stay here
no,
and say
no,
that. No,
no,
I am leaving.
no.
Good day.
Good day to you too, you religious guy.
I hope you have a bad day.
You want me to just chill up here?
Yeah, just look like bored.
I am. Let's start with these two up here, just kind of yelling at each other.
Yeah, okay.
And this is Anthony, the loser, trying to bring a rabbi into my graduation.
And this was Drill Sergeant Danny coming to you live from the Supreme Court. Yeah, boy!
Whoa, you guys are actually working on real work.